toe as well. Ooh, we've got some problems. Drew Dollar with the right front tire down. He's going to bounce it off the outside wall. That's going to put us under the caution flag for the second time here this afternoon. Drew could tell something was not right with that race car. He went off into turns 1 and 2 and drifted up the racetrack and made some pretty significant contact with the outside wall. Let's take a look at what happened again down in turns 1 and 2. There you see Drew Dollar to the top side of the racetrack. And right there, you see that right front go down, and he slaps that outside retaining barrier with the right side of that car. And that's going to be a short end to his day right there. Ooh, pretty heavy impact.
Oh, and there's another big hit, and this one is the 51 of Drew Dollar out of the Kyle Busch camp. So KBM with 2 of their 3 trucks into the wall in this practice session, and that's a big one. Got another one spinning.
Wow, Drew just got the right sides just above the track script in, and away it went.
Let's see if we get a view from the Tyler Ankrum on board. That might give us a little better perspective. I just lost it.
Yeah.
Drew Dollar making his second start of the season, opened up at Daytona with a 10th place run, and was looking forward to this sequence of races in which he's getting ready to run 3 in a row in that 51 for KBM.
So Hutchins has already had his issue and has come off the wall, but had been scrubbing the wall for a while yet, and then Sauter and Dollar came up.
When you saw John Hunter was behind them, he still had a great deal of speed too. So the caution must not have been out yet, and the drivers didn't know that Hutchins was just going to be sitting in the road.
Oh,
you could see Sauter wouldn't be able to see through the 51 truck of Dollar. And look, the speed that John Hunter has coming in there.
I guess Johnny's spotter, the veteran Tab Boyd, had radioed that he just did not see the 14 and where the 14 was on track. And you know, that's a similar spot, Mike, where we talked about earlier that seemed like maybe is a vulnerable position for the spotters. Yeah, that outside of turn on the exit of 4 as they come toward the tri-oval area.
And Hutchins' truck is black, so that probably made it a little more difficult to see at night against the black asphalt.
It's going to grab those stage points. Drew Dollar in the 51.
Oh, that's
big hit. Out of the Kyle Busch Motorsports stable, Drew Dollar, just his 3rd career start.
It doesn't take much here, and the hits here in Texas in 1 and 2 are just so vicious.
You're carrying so much speed down in there. There's no banking to slow you down. And
year-old from Atlanta, Georgia.
So he gets underneath here for 15th. He's racing Haley Deegan, yeah.
There's no air on the side. You know, he got that in there. Tough angle entering that shallow. Really need to turn the wheel a lot to get to car to wrap around the bottom. And no side force, you know, as you got a car on your outside, and around she goes in a hard way.
Yeah, that's a big hit. I mean, you can tell the damage that it was a big hit, but I'm telling you, when they do that tank slapper, you know, hits the right rear, then it comes around and hits the right front in the car, it just really it hurts. It kind of snaps you around.
One right after the other, and that's yeah, that's definitely to knock the wind out of you type of hit.
Dollar way up the racetrack actually started just a little bit before that as well. Looks like Drew Dollar lost the nose on that machine and just took him right up the track.
Flat out lost the air on the nose of that car and went up the racetrack, and on the outside of him was unfortunately Thad Moffitt, who became that barrier, that squeezable barrier from up.
Or if he was trying to help Drew Dollar out. The verdict certainly still out. Let's take a look at what we see here. And the 46, maybe a little payback right there on Drew Dollar, and a hard hit to the left side by Tim Richmond. Wow, that was a big impact for the 15. Here's another look at it, and it looks like you can say that the 46 slid the nose there, but those two got into it in the opening laps of this race.
Hard to say. Right on that black line, you saw the run that Drew
bottom this restart, or am I going to be on the top again?
Bad Moffitt around. Looks like he got a bump from Drew Dollar. Guys, this isn't the first time we've seen this. This is the third race we've seen these two get together.
Yeah, Thad really did a great job avoiding that inside wall.
Man, it looks like he just pushes up a bit, and that's pretty big right there, guys.
Thad held his line. He did not come down the racetrack, and it was probably a situation where Drew Dollar probably lost the front end. But as you mentioned, Jamie, it's happened more than once.
Yes, it has. There's been some bad blood between those two drivers. Thad Moffitt running ninth at the time of the impact. As you said, he spun around, he saved it. Little bit of damage.
Man, he's really fortunate there. He was able to drive that thing in reverse and keep it off the rear or the wall there on the inside. But
highlighted our playoff drivers hoping to get into the next round as Drew Dollar. And some significant contact behind him. DeSavino is involved in that one again as well. A couple of drivers just had nowhere to go as Dollar spun around.
How fast things goes. My bad.
It's just tough. You know, you get an opportunity like Drew Dollar has to race in one of Powell's trucks. You know it's fast. You know what the teammates, how they're running, and you just push so hard, trying to get everything you can get.
So, he's trying to get underneath another truck, and just the real estate closes up quick.
And then right there, he lets off the brake, and that.
Many trucks in the same spot. But yeah, it looks like they got loose when he was trying to battle for position underneath Purdy, and it came around on him.
A great job by the 9 of Kobe Howard making his way below it.
And that's what Bristol can do to you. When you get one spinning up ahead, sometimes you have nowhere to go. And
under 32 seconds, they feel like 64.
There's the caution, and it's Drew Dollar in the 51.
Just when we thought it was going to get strung out.
Exactly what Gilliland didn't want, just as we were talking about. Incident already in progress as we pick it up here on the replay. And
looked like Wood had already hit the wall, and maybe Dollar was trying to avoid. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but trouble for both those racers.
Sometimes is it?
There it is. It's Austin Hill and Zane Smith.
It's going to be more too, Vince.
Wow. The big one.
More and more trucks just keep piling in. There is nowhere to go now, and you can't even go through the grass because it'll just rip the splitter off.
Sauter involved in that one as well.
Be a situation. Just an aggressive push. We've seen them do that before today, Kurt, but they got away with it. Not this time.
Hitting her right now in the fourth spot, and there's contact. Drew Dollar hard into the wall.
I think her and Tony got together there.
Push, maybe just got off centered a little bit. Yeah, just got off center, and then when she checked up, came back up into him, and it turned him obviously in the wrong direction.
Driving all day long.
Another good save by Tony.
Yeah, yeah.
She could own the sweep moves of the race, all of them.
Bottom cars are starting to get vulnerable, and you're seeing them. Oh, there it goes.
First crash of the day. The 18 is Drew Dollar.
These cars will dart to one direction or another, and obviously it caught the 18 and those guys off guard and got our first wreck of the day. Two cars that were in the top 10.
And the first time you'll hear this, but not the last, throughout the course of the next two races, is the accordion effect. And that's exactly what happened right there. Somebody checks up in front, the next guy checks up, and the next guy behind that maybe.
Bruh.
Look and see what happened to the 43, Daniel Dye.
So it looks like the old school just pinched, not really knowing the guys on your right recorder. Now this is a bad spot for a spotter to try to see it out into turn one. They're going away from you, but man, that's a little bit too tight to be running somebody 8 laps into the race.
It's our first look at it. And,
yeah, you're right. Started up top, 11:54.
Yeah. Too close to, and there we go. 7th caution of the day. Brandon Brown, you mentioned Gralla, the 07 of Joe.
3 wide, and he goes and changes lanes in a hurry.
In front of his teammate, and that pole was not there.
Not there. Triggered all that.
You know, Jade Buford's been driving that 48 car for Big Machine.
Series as we see a great side-by-side battle, Drew, with just a bit of an advantage, not for long. The last 24 races won.
The leader's wrecked. 18.
Lock her down.
Drew Dollar gets into the 20 of Corey Heim. They're both wrecked in the infield. You heard it there, frustration on the radio as the caution waves for the third time today.
And that's the tough part. They were racing really hard for the lead. You know, Corey was right on the door of the 18 car. And we got a lot of laps left in the race, but be interested to see who slipped first there. And obviously contact just ran out of racetrack coming off the corner.
Yeah, a lot of damage on Corey's car for sure. I don't see that much damage from this side.
So they get the end result of the drag race here, and Corey's just taking all the air off the side of the 18. He just got a little loose. There's a bit of a gap, and that's the thing. New tires, talking about freeing up the race car. You got new tires. The track's been changing. You get the first try to get back out there, and obviously the 18 was just a little too free, and wasn't any room.
Listen to the throttle. Listen to the throttle here.
Wow.
I don't think there's a lot of damage to the 18 car. He got into the 20, pushed the 20 into the wall.
Should be a good view from Sanchez at the front. Nick says thank you.
Yep.
Reese's sweet move right there. Heads up by Nick Sanchez. Was able to split the difference, go right between the middle.
Just so vulnerable when you're on the inside here. Full of fuel. We got a lot of rear weight. See him get loose. He's just chasing up the racetrack and finally runs out of room, runs into Corey Heim.
Yeah, in Corey's defense, I would say he entered the corner on his door, and there was a decent amount of a gap there between both cars. I think it's just tough racing, close racing gone bad, and obviously a little bit of a loose moment for the 18 on stickers.
But each team doesn't feel the same way you do.
Absolutely not.
I know how David Gilliland feels. Like, Drew wrecks all your shit when he's driving for you, and then he wrecks it all when he's racing against you. So I can understand why he punched him in the eye over Bristol last year. Just typical bonehead move by Drew. He's killed a couple of my cars here, and now he's killed one and wasn't even driving for it. I mean, just look at it. Just pure lack of talent. Great kid. Does not need to be a race car driver. He's got a lot of other things he'd probably do and make a good living.
Is officially out. Let's take a look back at what happened from his onboard.
Yeah, as Austin sounded like a right front. You see the right front tire is down. It didn't blow out, but it obviously lost air. He realized that, but unfortunately couldn't get it slowed down in time to keep from hitting the outside safer barrier.
That was a big hit.
It was a big hit.
Yeah, it was so unfortunate. Kind of compound fracture on that day. Just a lot of damage, and probably didn't get a tire fully clear on that last stop, and